Hey guys, welcome to 𝑑𝒂𝒍𝒅𝒂𝒓𝒄. Today we got Olive Garden featuring new Arboliva from Scarlet and Violet with a super cool enriching oil ability allowing to heal all damage from any one of your Pokemon as you evolve this card from your hand. It is a stage 2 card though, and that means we need our Rare Candy. Arven allows us to search for the Rare Candy or even our Ultra Ball to get the evolution into our hand if we already have the Rare Candy. We also get to search for our evolution with our Jacq, Mesagoza, and a bunch of other cards as well, Capturing Aroma. But the main combo for this deck is for us to evolve our Arboliva to use his ability to recover all damage from our Flapple VMAX so that we actually get to do G-Max rolling for 250 damage every single turn right after recovering all damage from this Pokemon. So the deal about this attack is that G-Max rolling does 250 minus damage for 1 grass and 2 colorless. So what it means is 250 minus 10 more for each damage counter on this VMAX. So for each damage counter on your Flapple, you are doing less damage with your G-Max rolling, and that's the reason why we need to keep recovering all damage from our Flapple with our Arboliva's ability. We also get to play our Leafeon VMAX or Leafeon VSTAR. Only playing 1 copy of each Leafeon though, so depending on what you have in the deck, you actually have to use that if you're up against a fire deck, just because Leafeon has a Snow Leaf badge that allows you to block all weakness from that Pokemon. So if you have this tool card attached to your Leafeon, you actually get to ignore weakness on that Pokemon, and that means you are no longer weak towards fire type, which is a good counter against fire decks. The reason we have Leafeon is also for the greening cells, for us to attach 1 extra energy on our first turn with this ability, ending our turn when we use this ability to get extra energy for us to play G-Max rolling on our second turn right after evolving our VMAX. We can also choose to play our greening cells onto the Leafeon itself to play our Grass Knot or even Max Leaf on our next turn. We can also play the V-Star evolution to attack with Leaf Guard, reducing 30 damage on our opponent's next turn done to this Pokemon. So Leaf Guard actually allows us to tank up to 280 damage with our V-Star. We can tank up to 300 damage with our VMAX. So the good thing about Leafeon is that you don't actually need to worry about recovering all damage from this Pokemon every single turn. You can actually play Max Leaf for the tiny recovery effect while tanking and, lasting a few turns before actually playing your Arboliva to use his ability to recover all damage from your Leafeon, just because you don't actually need to worry about the damage reduction. For Flapple, you have to recover every single turn. If you don't recover enough damage, you're not doing as much damage to do the knockout with your G-Max rolling. So all they need is 25 damage counters on your Flapple to basically deny you from doing any damage at all with this VMAX attack. So G-Max rolling is only able to do 250 if you have 0 damage counters on your VMAX. It's very, very important to keep the damage counters on this Pokemon as low as possible, and we have no other heal cards for this deck. We have no Lucky Ice Pop, we have no Sweet Honey, we have nothing but Arboliva for the recovery effect, so we have to make sure to evolve it at the right time, and we have 2 copies of our Dolliv to make sure we get to evolve stage by stage to do the stage 1 evolution before evolving into the stage 2 Arboliva to use enriching oil to recover all damage from our Flapple. We have 3 copies of the stage 2 as well with 3 rare candies to make sure we get to evolve as many times as we can with 1 Collapsed Stadium as well to discard the Arboliva from our bench right after evolving it, so that we actually get to shuffle it back and use it a second time with our Miriam. On the next turn, we actually get to discard our Collapsed Stadium as well with Worker or Mesagoza. Later on in the game, if they play their Stadium, we actually get to remove Collapsed Stadium as well, because Collapsed Stadium is actually denying our opponent that extra bench spot, so they may actually get annoyed and play their own Stadium just to allow them an extra bench spot. If they play a Stadium, we actually get to bench another Smoliv on the next turn, allowing us another extra recovery with another Arboliva. Moving on to our draw spot, we're playing 1 Radiant Venusaur to do Sunny Bloom, helping us draw cards until we have 4 cards at the end of every single turn. We also are playing 1 Research with 1 Serena for the draw spot, 2 Arven to search for any tool card plus an item into our hand. We also have Jacq for the evolution as we said, and 1 Miriam to draw 3 cards after shuffling back up to 5 Pokemon from the discard pile back into your deck. We also have 1 Boss and 1 Serena to pull out any of their bench V Pokemon into the active, so that we actually get to target the same V card. If we hit a V-Star, we actually get to do a OHKO against a V-Star using the Choice Belt. If we are hitting a VMAX though, we're not actually able to do a 1-hit knockout, and that's the reason we have 1 Boss and 1 Serena to target the same VMAX or the same EX to knock it out with a second strike. We also are playing our regular setup cards, 4 Nest Ball with 4 VIP Pass to get our basics, 1 Capturing Aroma to get either our basic or evolution depending on the coin flip, 1 Mesagoza to search for any Pokemon if we get a heads. We also are playing 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball to get any basics from the prize with 3 Ultra Ball for the evolution, either helping us search for the VSTAR, VMAX, or Arboliva. Finally, we're also playing 2 V-Guard to help us reduce damage done by opponent's V Pokemons, helping us tank more damage with our V-Star or VMAX attacker with 1 Energy Search and 8 basic Grass Energy. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay and see how well this deck works. Okay, let's go for our first game versus Miraidon EX. They're playing an Electric Box. I think they have 𝑬𝒗𝒐𝒂𝒓𝒄 VMAX. I'm not too sure. So we got our Bulbasaur coin for our grass deck. We're playing Arboliva, the new grass type Scarlet and Violet Pokemon with an heal ability, which is pretty cool, healing all damage from any one of your Pokemon as you evolve that card from your hand. We have no more Scoop Up Net though, which is the biggest block for that card. So without Scoop Up Net, you can't actually recycle the ability as many times as you want. It is a stage 2 as well, which means you need to do Rare Candy, you need to evolve your Dolliv. So for any stage 2 deck, I actually recommend playing 2 copies of the stage 1. 2 Dollivs is actually essential if you want to evolve. If you want to be able to evolve fast enough to use the ability enough times for you to survive the game, you kind of need, more than just the Rare Candy. So if you have only 1 Dolliv, if you're playing only 1 copy of the Stage 1 evolution, you may not be able to do the stage by stage evolution up to the Stage 2 if you have that 1 card prized. So that's the reason we're playing 2 copies. And also, if you have 2 in the deck, it's actually really good for you to, evolve 2 copies while doing a Rare Candy at the same time. So if you have Rare Candy late, you can at least play the stage by stage evolution. If you have it early, you can actually evolve the Dolliv while doing a Rare Candy, preparing for your next evolution on the next turn, immediately after evolving right this turn. So that's a really good one. It secures you your next evolution as you are using the ability on this turn. That's a very, very good deal in my opinion. So here comes the Miraidon Tandem unit. We got 2 energies on our Flapple with the V-Guard as well. So if they play Raikou to attack, I'm not sure if they can do a knockout, but if they play the Miraidon though with the electric generator, they can quite easily Beach Court and do a knockout on this turn. So Miraidon is actually quite crazy right now. They can do instant knockouts against any V-Card on the first turn if they play a Choice Belt. So it's doing 220 damage with the generator. If they can somehow get 2 energies at the top 4 cards of their deck to attach onto the Miraidon with an extra energy in their hand while doing the Beach Court, it's quite easy though because they got so many research, they got so many ways to search for the right cards. They got Forest Seal Stone as well with Arven. So it's honestly quite easy for Miraidon to do first turn knockout with Photon Blast. I think that's the attack, I'm not actually too sure. So it does 220 damage and it can't actually attack on the next turn, but it can quite easily retreat to the next one, retreat, switch to attack again. Okay, we got our Venusaur for the draw spot, and we actually did our first knockout with G-Max rolling. Didn't get the boss, so unfortunately we're not able to deal with the Raikou or Miraidon. We did kill Miriam instead for 1 prize. So we have no Smoliv on the bench yet. And right now they're actually doing some damage on the Flapple, which is kind of bad because we are actually doing less damage on the next turn. A lot less. So not being able to heal early is definitely a big block. Not sure why we're not getting our basic summons though. We got 4 VIP Pass, 4 Nest Balls, 1 Heavy Ball, 3 Ultra Ball, 2 Arven to get those balls. We also have 1 Capturing Aroma and 1 Forest Seal Stone to get those cards. So Forest Seal Stone allows you to search for your VIP on the first turn. If you attach it to your Leafeon or even Flapple, we have 1 Choice Belt as well, so make sure you use your tool cards right. If you want to attach it to your Flapple, make sure they're not playing any V-Stars. If they're playing any V-Star, you can actually do Choice Belt on your Flapple for a 1-hit KO. If they're not playing any V-Stars though, you can actually do Choice Belt on your Leafeon instead to do a V knockout with Leaf Guard or Max Leaf. So Max Leaf is doing a knockout against Raikou if Leafeon has a Choice Belt attached. If it needs the Fire Weakness Guard though, you kind of have no choice but to attach the Snow Leaf Badge onto your Leafeon. And if you use Snow Leaf Badge on Leafeon, you're not actually allowed to play Forest Seal Stone on that Pokemon. So make sure you attach your tool cards right. You can still do the Forest Seal Stone on Flapple though. So that's an option. Good thing about Flapple is that it's only the attack cost is only 1 grass and 2 colorless, and that means you get to play double turbo with it. But we are not doing double turbo because we want the damage. We don't want to be doing any less damage with GMAX rolling. GMAX rolling is actually able to kill a Blissey right now because Blissey has no damage reductions. It has no cape, but for the next set though, there's going to be Charm of Courage. So Cape of Toughness is going to be coming back into standard as a new different card for Paldea Evolved. And Blissey is going to be a big thing back in standard after that. So I'm looking forward to that actually. Blissey is quite a powerful card. Digging energies from the discard pile. You get to dig for your V-Guard, Double Turbo, Jet Energy, anything. So here comes the Raikou. They're going to do Electric Generator now. So we have one Smoliv on the bench. We're slowly charging up the Leafeon as well to attack with either Leaf Guard or Max Leaf at some point in the game. So Grass Knot is not doing as much damage because we got no speed ups. No more Galarmine in standard as well. So Grass Knot Leafeon is kind of a bad card right now, I feel. Might as well just attack with the speed ups, right? Might as well just use its attack rather than evolving another Pokemon just to attack with it. But Leafeon has the Greening Cells though. Greening Cells for speed ups is actually a good combo. So might as well just put 1 or 2 copies of the VSTAR or VMAX to attack with it as well. So we got Serena for the draw spot. Saving our hand. We got Venusaur, but we should be drawing the energy for the next turn. We didn't get our Rare Candy evolution though, unfortunately. So no evolution for this turn. No recovery with Arboliva, which is quite terrible. I think we're playing only 1 copy of the Dolliv for this set, for this game. So we're just going to switch onto the Smoliv and just hide on the bench. They're probably going to do a boss on the Flapple and knock it out. But at least we get to Greening Cells and evolve the Leafeon on the next turn with Ultra Ball. So Arven's going to give us the VMAX evolution and we can actually do some damage with Leafeon before getting our first Arboliva to evolve for the recovery. So we can recover our VMAX, our second VMAX, to tank while doing big damage. 200 damage is not quite enough to kill the Miraidon, but it's actually enough to kill the Raikou. So if they attack with Raikou right now, we got a knockout on the next turn. Oh my gosh, here comes the Miraidon though. Miraidon is gonna start attacking. I'm not sure if Raikou is doing enough damage. Probably it's enough though, because they already hit the first time on the last turn on the Flapple. Didn't do a boss though, surprisingly. They did a research. Okay, so now we gotta somehow dig for the Rare Candy evolution. I'm not sure how to do that. Oh, but we just top decked a Mesagoza. So if we're lucky enough to get ahead with Mesagoza, we can dig for the stage 2 and then play Arven for the Rare Candy to recover all damage from Flapple. Playing GMAX rolling for 2 price on this turn, and then on the next turn we gotta actually think about our second evolution though. I'm not sure how to do that because we actually need to pull off a second Rare Candy right after this turn, which is gonna be a tall order. So that's the reason I say we need 2 Dollivs. For this game we are only playing 1 copy and we don't actually have that many balls to bench our Pokemons as well. I'm pretty sure we have 1 less Nest Ball and 1, I don't think we have you know, that many VIP Pass as well. I'm not sure what less cards we have. But playing less basic summons is really bad because you don't actually get to bench your Smoliv early, and if you don't bench your Smoliv early, you don't get to evolve it as fast as you want. You don't get to play the ability to chain the ability every single turn. So you kind of need to recover damage from Flapple constantly with your ability. You need to keep evolving Arboliva over and over every single turn non-stop to be able to do enough damage to knock out your opponent's Pokemon while tanking and while surviving the knockout with your Flapple VMAX in the active is a tall order for sure, because you only have that many, you only can evolve that much times with your Arboliva. You can only play the ability up to 3 times in a row. And then you got to start playing your Collapsed Stadium Miriam to recycle it, shuffle it back into the deck and rebench it after playing another stadium. So there's a lot of things you need to do The main priority, of course, is to bench our Pokemons early. If we can bench enough Smolivs early, we can evolve the Dolliv and start doing rare candies at some point in the game, and prepare for the next evolution by benching another Smoliv or something like that. So it's actually crucial for us to get a good setup early game, and that's the reason why I always say that it's very, very important to play a lot of balls in your deck. You need 4 VIP, 4 Nest Ball, and 4 Ultra Ball. That's the bare minimum. If you are planning to play only 3 Ultra Balls, which I normally do for my decks, you should be playing stuff like Heavy Ball, Capturing Aroma, Great Ball, some other cards to get more Pokemons into your hand so that you get to evolve easily and also bench your Pokemons fast, especially if you're playing a Stage 2 evolution deck. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the game. They got a research, drawing more cards. And here comes another electric generator, digging for more energies onto the second Miraidon. They got Flapple, Miraidon, and Raikou. I don't see any Elekis. I don't see any other electric Pokemons like Magnezone, VSTAR, or something like that. Nothing fancy. Quite a chill deck. They got Flapple to retrieve energy from the discard pile with Greninja. So I feel like they're going for hyper consistency here, helping them attach energy fast so they get to attack early, either with Dynamotor or Electric Generator. I feel like it should be better if they focus more on the generator though, because if they play Flapple, they don't actually get to add that much energy into the deck. Flapple is a level ball card though, so I get the consistency there. I don't think you need that many Flapples. So 2 copies would be fine. But if you can add more energies for you to do the generator earlier, that would be a big plus for Miraidon decks. But if you have your generators prized though, if you have 1 or 2 copies in the prize card, you may not be able to play that early enough, and that's the reason they need the Flapple, I guess. So relying only on the item is kind of risky, and that's the reason they are opting to use Flapple for this deck, helping them satisfy the attack cost with Dynamotor in addition to the generator. Greninja for draw support is actually going to help Miraidon decks because I don't think they can just rely on research and judge. If they play like enough supporter cards, obviously they can quite easily just supply their hand with those resources. But I feel like Greninja Flapple is a good engine. It's definitely a good engine with Magma Basin as well, cards like that. So Greninja is going to stay in standard for a long time because it's from Astro Radiance, and I'm very happy for that. I'm pretty sure the next rotation though, if there's going to be a rotation, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen anytime soon, obviously. But for the next rotation, it's probably gonna be nothing but Scarlet and Violet cards. I don't think you're allowed to play any of the Radiants, any of the V-Stars anymore, because there's no more Sword and Shield for post-rotation. For post rotation, my bad, because we're just starting the post-rotation for Scarlet and Violet. It's actually early days to be talking about that right now. So we got our rare candy in our hand, but no Arboliva. We actually did flip a heads with our Capturing Aroma. Look at that. So are we gonna get the Dolliv or the Arboliva? Do we need the recovery? I'm not sure what we need right now. Wasn't focusing on the game, sorry about that. Focusing on the narrating. We got Mesagoza as well, so let's hope we get a heads. Oh, we got a tails. Oh well. So we didn't need our Arboliva apparently. We're just gonna do a knockout right now. Oh wait, we don't have the Arboliva. We don't have the evolution because we already have our Smolivs evolved, so we don't actually get to play the rare candy, unfortunately. Because we have no more Smoliv on the bench. So let's play our Leafeon because I don't think we can do any damage with Flapple anymore. We got Leaf Guard for 210 damage thanks to Choice Belt. Oh wait, they're not an EX. They're not a V card though. They're playing an EX, so we're only hitting 180 damage against the Miraidon because Choice Belt doesn't work on it. But if we're hitting a Raikou, we can do a knockout. If we're hitting any V cards with 210 HP or less, we can actually do a knockout with Leafeon drawing 2 prizes. Doing more damage is going to help you as well, especially if they heal their Pokemon. So good thing about Leaf Guard as well is that you get to take less damage on the next turn. So the thing about Leafeon V-Star is that it gets to tank 280 damage playing its attack It only has 260 HP, but we have no quick attune for this deck, so we only get to tank up to 280 damage after playing our Leaf Guard, because we are taking 30 less damage from opponent's attacks on their next turn. So tanking allows you to heal with Arboliva's ability. We also have our Snowleaf Guard, Snowleaf Badge to basically guard itself against fire weakness. So we actually have to play nothing but Leafeon if we're up against a fire deck. And if they play like a Radiant Charizard, for example, we got Snowleaf Badge to basically save ourselves against Lost Box. But if they play Lost Box though, they may get the Lost Vacuum at the right time to remove our tool card, and that means we got no more weakness protection. So we gotta watch out against Lost Box, honestly. They got the Lost Vacuum. If they play it too early though, just to lose more cards to play the Mirage Gate, they may not be expecting the Snowleaf Badge. And that could actually mean that we may be able to win against a Radiant Charizard. But they probably have more than one copy of the Lost Vacuum though, so I'm not being optimistic here. But you never know, they could have the second Lost Vacuum prize or something like that. Fingers crossed, right? We have that one card though. One tech card to basically counter fire decks. If they play an Arcanine, for example, Arcanine doesn't play that many Lost Vacuums, I don't think. They need Armarouge, they need a lot of, Magma Basin, consistency cards, Bibarel. They need a lot of evolutions, so I don't think they get to play that many Lost Vacuums in their deck. If they have just one though, if they play it at the right time, we're screwed. I don't think many decks would have Lost Vacuum in their list though, just because it doesn't really work against the standard meta right now. There's no more Cape of Toughness, there's no more, Big Charm, stuff like that, so I don't think it really works that well. There's not really a crazy tool card in standard right now that everyone's trying to get rid of. No more Cape of Toughness, Big Charm, no more Big Parasol, stuff like that. So I don't think many people would add Lost Vacuum in their list, because it's not top priority. You would fare better adding more consistency card, more Ultra Balls, more Bibarels, stuff like that, more energies. So I don't think it's on their radar, I hope, against fire decks. So we won against Miraidon, our first win. We got all 6 prize cards, which is pretty cool. And we actually did use both Flapple and Leafeon to attack for that game, which is pretty cool. Finishing off the last EX with our Leaf Guard, using Choice Belt for the knockout. Well, we actually kill a Miraidon though. If they attack with the Raikou, we would have gotten the knockout anyways. So that's the power of Choice Belt. It's still a big thing in standard. Do not underestimate that card. The main reason we have that tool is for against V-Stars, right? If we have our G-Max rolling with the Choice Belt attached, we actually get to kill a V-Star with one hit using our Flapple VMAX for double price draw, while recovering damage on the next turn with Arboliva. So V-Guard for Flapple is quite interesting, but against EX decks, as we said, it doesn't actually work. So if they play Gardevoir EX, Gardevoir is not doing enough damage though. If they play like Gyarados EX, they can actually do a knockout. Gyarados is doing way more damage than necessary anyways. 360, if you have any damage counters on the VMAX, they actually get to do a total of 370 damage onto the Flapple, which is more than enough even if we have the V-Guard attached. Even if it works for the damage reduction, it's more than enough anyway. So Gyarados is kind of an overkill EX card, isn't it? Because it's doing way more damage than necessary to kill anything. 360 is like way too much. It's even enough to kill a Gudra V-Star. So Gudra has, it doesn't really have any way to reduce more damage other than the Rolling Iron. Because V-Guard and Radiant Gardevoir doesn't work anymore. We have Lake Acuity though, and for the next set, there could be more cards, for future sets, my bad. There could be more cards to reduce damage, like something like Rock Chestplate for regular cards, maybe minus 20. A Full Face Guard doesn't work for Gudra just because it has an ability. So let's hope they come up with new cards to reduce damage, something like a Full Face Guard, maybe for evolution Pokemons. They may even bring back Choice Helmet as a new card to reduce damage done by EX Pokemons, which would be super cool. I would be down for that 100%. I would be so up for that. I mean, Choice Helmet being back in the game. For tankers, it would be a huge deal because we got nothing but V-Guard for standard, which isn't great right now. So V-Guard is actually a late comer though. It allows us to tank more damage against V Pokemons, but it only came out for Silver Tempest. It was pretty late for us to get a damage reduction card for Sword and Shield, because Silver Tempest is basically the last set before Crown Zenith for Sword and Shield, which is not great. We got Radiant Gardevoir, Lake Acuity, and also V-Guard. But before that, we got nothing but, you know, all those chest plates. We got Galarian chest plate, full face guard, pot helmet. We also have our abilities to reduce damage, I guess, but those aren't really great abilities because you need to evolve the stage 2 IG Slash to be able to play that ability, and you can only stack the ability if you're playing new cards like Kling Clang or Bastiodon. Bastiodon only works against V cards as well. Kling Clang only works for your basic Pokemons. So those cards aren't really that great in standard because stage 2 obviously for damage reduction isn't ideal, even for your tankers. Okay, so we got our grass energy. We're just gonna start attacking. We're gonna start doing a knockout with our Flapple VMAX. Not sure what to discard though. Should we discard the switch? Should we remove the Rare Candy or the Serena? Are we gonna discard the Miriam? Okay, apparently we did so. Let's just evolve and GMX roll. So they're playing Dondozo with Flapple. They got Flapple from Evolving Skies doing 50x damage for each of your opponent's Pokemons. For each of our opponent's Pokemon in play that has an ability. So we have Radiant Venusaur, Arboliva, and Leafeon playing abilities. So if we keep evolving the Arboliva, eventually they got 200 damage in the game. I don't think they can do more than 250 because Flapple does not have an ability. So 250 is not actually enough to knock us out, but 250 is actually a lot though. It can deny us attack damage on our next turn because Flapple requires damage recovery to be able to do enough damage to knock them out. But we just need to recover 90 HP though. We just need 90 damage recovery, but we have no other recovery cards for this deck. Surprise, surprise. We have no other ways to heal our Pokemon except with our Arboliva. So we do have to get through the stage 2 evolution, but we got a lot of Dollivs, so I don't think we should be too worried. Max Leaf also gets to heal 30 damage from itself, so it's not bad. Make sure you play Max Leaf enough times before you actually use Arboliva to recover all damage. If you are not sure they can actually do a knockout on the next turn though, having a few damage counters on your Leafeon, might as well just evolve Arboliva just to be safe. Because if you have, for example, 15 damage counters on your Leafeon and they are not actually able to do 160 damage on their next turn, you could do Max Leaf, recovering 30 damage from a Leafeon to survive another turn before playing Arboliva, but that could be risky though, because you never know when they're gonna bench a new Pokemon, do a surprise hit for 250 damage like a Dragonite V, and if they play a Lost Box with Cramorant, if they hit 110 damage with Cramorant, recovering 30 damage leaves 8 damage counters on the Leafeon, and that means they can swoop in with a Dragonite V for the knockout with Mirage Gate. So Dragonite is doing 250 damage for 1 water, 1 lightning, and 1 colorless, so that means they can easily just play Mirage Gate for a Leafeon VMAX knockout if you have already 8 damage counters on it. So make sure you are aware that they can do surprise knockouts at some point, at any point in the game. Be very careful against meta decks, especially against a standard meta. You kind of know what they're up to though. If you know that they don't have the knockout, you can actually, take the gamble and leave a few damage counters on your Leafeon to tank again, to make sure you get to conserve your evolutions as much as you can, because we only are able to play Arboliva's ability up to 3 or even 4 times in a single game. We can't play that many times. We can't keep using the Enriching Oil ability for full damage recovery over and over. Obviously, we have a limit because there's no more scoop on that. So it's all about playing the right cards at the right time and being smart with your decisions. Knowing how much resources you have is gonna count a lot in the long run. So if you know when to use what cards at the right time and when to save the cards in your hand, that would count a lot to your final end game because it's gonna determine how good a player you are, basically. Anywho, let's get back to the game. So now it's Flapple versus Flapple. They got one Pokemon in play, so we just need one final knockout apparently. But they could quite easily just start benching the Dondozos and Liepard. They're playing the Liepard engine, so it's quite interesting. Here comes the Ultra Ball. I knew it. I don't think I don't think any game would be that easy in Standard, especially if you want to climb up the ladder. So there is a rank system now. I'm not sure if there was a rank system back in PTCGO, but right now we actually do have a rank system, and it's gonna be a lot harder for you to win more games. The higher the rank you are, is gonna be a lot harder to sustain your win streak, basically. Because players are crazy in Standard. They're playing overpowered decks like Gardevoir EX. They're doing hyper consistency Miraidon with Flaffy. It's gonna be really difficult to win those games. You have to really figure out the golden ratio to make your deck work. If you don't play, the perfect ratio, anything less than perfect is not gonna work. Not just that, you gotta be flawless in your gameplay as well. It's not just about the deck list, it's about gameplay as well, making the right decisions at the right time, and knowing how to read the situation it all counts into winning the game, right? It's very, very important. If you have a bad hand, you can still play it well and survive a few turns before you get whatever you need to basically get your game going, and then after that you can slowly build your strategy up to slowly win the game by building your edge. So there's always a strategy involved. There's always a way that you can sneak those prize cards, and there's always a way to win the game, no matter how bad the situation is. Obviously, there are some times that, you go into a deadlock, you reach a dead end, and you have no choice but to concede. But sometimes, if you're smart enough, you would realize that you could have done something different. You could have done, maybe play something else first before you did the VIP pass. Maybe you play the sequence. If you play the sequence right, you could actually save yourself from a sticky situation. That's what I'm trying to say. Right? There's always a solution to every single problem. There's always a solution. And sometimes if you reach a dead end, even if you reach a dead end, maybe the solution is not in the strategy itself. Maybe the solution is in the deck list. Maybe you just need to upgrade your deck, add a few tag cards, and, brush up on your consistency. If you add more balls, it's going to be more consistent. If you add more energies, you're going to be able to attach faster, charge up your Pokemon to attack constantly. If you break the chain of attack, that's going to be really bad. For any decks that you play, it's always better. It's always best if you can keep attacking non-stop every single turn. If you stop even for a single turn, not doing any damage, you've basically done yourself over and gave your opponent that free win. So don't do that. Don't make any silly mistakes. Be super sharp when you are in the game. Focus 100%. Do not be complacent. Do not, don't leave your eye off the ball for even a second. Don't underestimate your opponent. That's a big thing as well. There are a lot of things that you need to think about. I mean, this game is really hard. It's really, really hard. Especially if you want to build creative decks. Decks that are off meta, especially. It is not easy. Here comes the Liepard. They finally got their draw engine. Pretty late though, but they did get their research early. They played the first research on the first turn, which is ridiculous, I think. They got the triple Tatsugiri discard on the first turn with the double turbo as well. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So here comes the Flapple doing Acidic Mucus for only 100 damage though, because we have nothing but Leafeon, our VSTAR with one Arboliva in play. Those are the only Pokemons with abilities, unfortunately. So the more we evolve, the more we use Enriching Oil, the more damage they're doing with Flapple. That's the funny thing. If we choose not to evolve though, I don't think we have the choice. If we choose not to evolve, we're not doing as much damage with our VMAX. They have only 90 HP though, so we just need 90 damage with our Gmax rolling. for the knockout, but I feel like we should be healing while we can, since they are doing big damage with 𝑑𝒕𝒐𝒍𝒂𝒓𝒄 later on. So they are basically trying to bait us into, you know, recovering damage later. Because if we recover damage later, they got the knockout on the next turn. If we choose not to heal any damage from Flapple right now, they're definitely going to swoop in with 𝑑𝒕𝒐𝒍𝒂𝒓𝒄 and finish off our VMAX in the active with Release Rage, doing 200 plus damage for the knockout. So always be sure, take note of what your opponent can do on the next turn. Pair beforehand, be 2 or 3 steps ahead of your opponent at all times. If you can, 10 steps even better. So it's all about who has the foresight, isn't it? Who has the foresight, but there is honestly some things that you can't actually predict for this game. Sometimes, you know, not everything is predictable. You sometimes just get a random hand from the shuffle with Judge. You sometimes just get a shit start on the first turn. You never know what's gonna happen, honestly. So we got the recovery. Now we're just gonna do GMX rolling for the kill. Are we gonna play Ultra Ball though? We have no more Venusaur, so it doesn't make sense for us to empty our hand, because we're not drawing any cards with Sunny Bloom anymore. So might as well just keep those items. You never know when you're gonna need them, right? They may just do a Roxanne though, disrupt our hand, but all we need now is 1 energy for Leafeon to attack, or another Arboliva. We got 1 Ultra Ball. We just need either the Rare Candy or the energy from the top deck, or even a research. A research would be nice. Pretty sure we could have done a research at some point in the game, but we kind of screwed up our hand. We could have done Ultra Ball and then played a research, but we actually played it wrong. I think we played the Ultra Ball a bit too early. At one of our earlier turns, right? On our first or second turn, I'm not too sure, but I'm quite certain that we missed the chance of playing the research. We have other supporter cards though. We have our Serena to draw cards, Arven to get our Rare Candy, or any other items. We got Energy Search as well in this deck. So I don't think we should be too worried. Even though we have no cards in our hand right now, all they need is honestly the 𝑑𝒕𝒐𝒍𝒂𝒓𝒄. If they can attack with the 𝑑𝒕𝒐𝒍𝒂𝒓𝒄 right now, they should be. They got the Raihan though, but they attach it to the Flapple, the Applin. I'm not sure why. They should really be attacking with 𝑑𝒕𝒐𝒍𝒂𝒓𝒄, because Flapple has very low HP and they're just giving us a free prize. I don't think they should be giving us any free prize at this time, because we are down to 2 remaining prizes. So they should really be attacking with the 𝑑𝒕𝒐𝒍𝒂𝒓𝒄, and that could actually deny us, it denies our Flapple from doing any damage at all. And here comes the Radiant Charizard though. Out from nowhere, they got the fire counter, but they need the fire energy. They're actually playing grass and fire energy for Flapple to do 160 damage with the second attack. I'm not sure what it's called, but it actually does 160 if your opponent's active Pokemon is a V card. If it's not a V, it only does 80 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it like 90 plus 90? I'm not actually too sure. So Fire Energy for Charizard allows them to hit a straight knockout against either the Flapple VMAX or the Leafeon. But we actually do have the Snowleaf badge already attached to our VSTAR, and that means they are not actually hitting the weakness against the Leafeon. If they have the Choice Belt, they are actually not doing a knockout as well. All we need to do is attack with Leaf Guard, and then they don't have the knockout. We could still do the boss with Choice Belt using Charizard to kill off our VSTAR on the next turn, or even a Lost Vacuum with the boss. So anything is possible at this point. Flapple, we actually need to recover all damage from it to kill off the Radiant Charizard, because it has a lot of HP. So let's hope they don't pull off a boss. No boss, there we go. We're safe. They actually do have the Liepard to draw out the boss though. They didn't do that. They need not just the boss but also the switch, because they didn't actually bench the Charizard on the last turn. So I'm not sure what's happening right now. I feel like they play a lot of blunders for this game. But they need not just the boss and the Choice Belt, they also need the Fire Energy. So it's a tall order to draw out all of those cards with nothing but Liepard, and you know, without the research, I don't think they can draw out the right cards. Because Liepard is only drawing them 2 cards at a time, and they got only 4 draw with double Liepard. They just paused the turn not attacking though, so no more Raihan, no double turbo, and we got the last knockout with our Leafeon, drawing the energy from the prize on the last turn, with Leaf Guard knocking out for the last prize, winning against a single prize Dondozo deck. Yay! That's a good win, yo. They got all of those one prize embellishments. They got Flapple to do big damage for 1 energy with acidic mucus. They even got Radiant Charizard for big damage late game. To seal the deal with Choice Belt against a VSTAR, they got a straight knockout as well. So it's kind of a solid deck. They have Liepard and Research for the draw support. Not bad. So right now we're up against a Dragonite VSTAR deck. They're playing Flying Pikachu as well. And Decidueye VSTAR, I'm not sure why Decidueye is there. Maybe to counter the meta. Against Miraidon EX, they got a straight knockout with Somersault Feathers. I'm gonna leave you guys for silent gameplay now. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Today we're featuring our Flapple VMAX with our Arboliva combo, having our Leafeon for greening cells to charge up the energy, and also playing our Leafeon VSTAR with VMAX combo using Snow Leaf Badge to guard itself against fire weakness, countering fire decks, fire boxes like Radiant Charizard as well. Nicely with that one tool card. We are only playing one copy though, but we do have our Arven to search for it, and we also are playing our Forest Seal Stone to search for any card from the deck, playing double V-Star power for this deck, giving us the option of either using our IV Star for free boss or our Star Alchemy for free search. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye from me, people. Enjoy life.
Hey baby, it's me. I was just calling to chat with you a little bit. I miss you a lot.
automated voice messaging system. At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Thank